time to start exploring the new town. At the very least, we have a fossil to revive, even if I'm not going to use a fossil Pokemon in this playthrough. Actually it does hurt to have extra items when you have a painfully limited amount of space. Sure, we can have a large number of a single item, but we don't have infinite space in our bag, and the more varieties of item we have in there, the more likely we are to hit that bloody limit. And again, that feels like something that we should have been told back at the start of the game, not this far in. And I swear, those X attack and X defense items might sound awesome if they were used in an anime-style story, but the way the game works, they don't have all that much of an actual impact. I don't suppose you can tell us more about the local gym leader, can you? Like why he left the key to his gym inside the burned-out building? I'm sorry, but I don't typically think of a quizmaster or anything like that as hot-headed, though much like with the whole merciless thing, I have the feeling that's because I have a larger tolerance for various things than the people in this world do. When you measure hot-blooded to people who are willing to pull Leroy Jenkins-style charges with little to no plan, you probably aren't going to find that many in a peaceful world where there's no real risk of getting killed. As a side note, kind of wish the game had enough of a story that it felt interesting to learn that Dr. Fuji did some research on this island before he moved to Lavender to whatever it is he does in Lavender. I can't tell if his place is a homeless shelter, orphanage, or something else that I can't find the word for. All I know is that a Cubone was there and its mother was killed by the rockets off-screen. Not a chance, even if we had a Raichu. I don't believe we bothered to evolve Toymaru back earlier in the game. Kind of amazed, actually, that I remembered that name, considering Red Team's Pikachu didn't get to the scoreboard at all. Indeed, and we've brought our own fossil to revive a Pokemon we're never gonna use. I should probably feel guilty about that, but still, better to revive a Pokemon and leave it in the box than let the fossil collect dust in a corner. Okay, I'm not really one to use Metronome since it literally makes a Pokemon do a random move. So when the AI uses a random number generator, it literally is gonna go to another random number generator with a lot more moves in the pool. It makes me a little nervous when I see a Pokemon use it against us, but I can't remember the last time I used it for myself. Indeed we do. I just wish I didn't feel the Pokemon we chose so long ago in the game arrived, so damn late that there's no real point in getting them. At least, in terms of how I'm using Pokemon here. But, again, we are kind of working on the 7th badge here. Just how many players in the game this far would feel willing to switch out members of the team to experiment with somebody fresh? Technically, we could go back to that room right now to get our new Pokemon. But since I'm not going to add said Pokemon to our team, I don't see too much need in walking in there to get the little guy at this moment. If at all, really. Maybe we'll... Oh, that's actually a bit depressing, thinking of him in his abandoned Pokemon there. Anyway, let's get started exploring the burned mansion. Well, at least the poison types are going to be easier for Phyllis to deal with than the fire types. Right, another dungeon with trainers in it. That could make this annoying, but I'm more pissed at the fact that Ponyta, a fire type I would have loved to have on the team, was this late in the game, especially since it's not like Ponyta or Rapidash are especially amazing Pokemon that you could say would not belong earlier in the game since they'd be too powerful or something like that. Okay, kinda looks like burns actually do affect our offensive strength somehow. Actually kind of amazed I still remember that tutorial bit from back in Viridian City. Well, it'd help if you were willing to leave this room and walk down the stairs, seriously. If you're gonna complain about a place feeling like a maze, then don't do so when you're this close to the entrance of the place. Granted, a lot of the characters in this game come across as idiots anyway, so it's not that surprising, but still, this far into the game, I want to feel like we're facing ever more competent people. But I suppose it's a wasted effort to complain about a lack of overall difficulty in the first game of the Pokemon series, especially since, in many respects, Pokemon made things easier over the years. May as well stay out for the next one. Our biggest problem against the Charmander was our unlucky lack of accuracy, not an inability of our Pokemon to take the lizard down. Though I can't help finding it funny that the evolved form went down easier than the younger form when we were using the exact same move. Anyway, with that level up, we can take our burn victim off the front lines. I wonder how many trainers would consider what I've done with Marbleback in this mansion so far to be kinda cruel. Sure, I trusted the guy to kick ass in here since he resists physical and fire attacks, but still, we had a Pokemon with a status effect in the front when we were planning on fighting for a while in here. Probably a waste to use a move like Surf on a wild Pokemon, especially when we have this kind of level difference between the Ponyta and Takanabori, who is a literal sea serpent who can't be burned. Actually, does a burn actually do that? In this generation? I don't know. Odd reference to a small country in South America here. Sure, the game also had a reference to a region in Russia that isn't especially famous, but this was before the series started naming regions made-up things so they could get lazy and just drop real-world locations, because I didn't think there was a chance of the player ever going there in the first game. Hell, the first region, Kanto, actually does exist, if not the exact way it does in the game here. And they kept those locations in the remakes of the games, since they didn't want to change much of anything about the entry that started it all, outside of some mechanical differences. It's just one of those things I kind of appreciate, since there are a hell of a lot of locations across the planet that don't get so much as a reference in media. So, the world ends up feeling smaller than it actually is. You know, the random journals in this game are the best bit of world building we get. Sure, we've been to a lot of places, but we haven't actually seen much in terms of story actually happening, so we don't really know all that much about what's going on in the world around us. Now we're reading a research log? It may not be much, especially with how little is in each journal. Literally just 2 pages, actually just 2 sentences at most. This far into the game, though, I'm dying of thirst and just found a little bird bath to drink from. You'd better believe I'm more concerned with getting a drink than how small the drink is. Yeah, I could potentially keep on going, but the Pokemon Center isn't that far away, and it's not like we made all that much progress so far. It's actually kind of funny that I'm more willing to fall back for healing when I see Takanabori in the yellow than when Marbleback is burned. Certainly an indication for who my favorite on the team is here. And I made that decision before I started commentary and hence started keeping track of how many trained Pokemon each member of the team has taken down. Just kind of interesting there. Right. Guess we're falling back again in a hurry. Annoying, but it's part of the price I pay for not buying any healing items. At least we don't have to worry about being poisoned or burned when we're going through the Seafoam Islands. Hell, I'm starting to wonder if I'd have gone through the trouble of retreating back in Fuchsia if one of our Pokemon got hit by a status effect like when we got pretty close to the end of the dungeon. Of course, I'm also wondering which of the game designers decided to have us go straight from the Seafoam Islands to dealing with this mansion. Feels like a bit of a gauntlet before we deal with Blaine, and that makes me worried we're going to be outright over-leveled when we get to him. I already get that feeling with every non-gym leader we deal with. Do we really need that for an actual gym leader this far into the game? We may not be leveling up at an especially fast rate, but we're getting into so many fights that it's only natural various members of the team are going to keep on getting stronger. Of course, if the story was better, I don't think I'd have an issue with our team getting overpowered. This game isn't about the story written in the script, it's about the journey the player goes through. And it's a little different with every player and every playthrough. I'm pretty sure one of the major reasons why I pushed myself through Pokemon Red was because I also was recording Pokemon Blue for the sake of the stadium segments. As fun as those are, it doesn't really feel like it was worth the extra prep time for it. Part of why I'm not sure if and how I'm going to use Pokemon Stadium 2 if and when we finally get to Pokemon Generation 2. At least I decided on playing through Pokemon Crystal when I get there, not Gold or Silver. Hell, definitely not doing two separate playthroughs of the same generation again, especially when I used so little of the Pokemon Blue footage in this LP. Ah well, even if this isn't one of my more popular LPs as of when I posted it, I do hope that people are having fun on this journey with me. I somehow doubt I'm bringing anything special to the table, considering just how many other people have LP'd at the mainline Pokemon games at this point. But it's still been a fun ride from where I'm sitting, warts and all. We may not be especially close to the end here, but we're certainly getting close enough to see it on the proverbial horizon. I just need to keep on pushing. I'd ask why there are still beds around here, but I think at best, it's there to give us some kind of landmark. Considering how undetailed the environments are due to the nature of the graphical limitations, it's hard to really complain about that little detail too much. I'm just gonna keep on feeling a headache, though, due to seeing these orange and white tiles speeding by so quickly, since I keep fast-forwarding. Bloody hell, Carm just has all the bad luck, doesn't he? They may be fighting fit, but we're getting hit with more status effects in that mansion than we were in Koga's gym. And status effects were supposed to be their gimmick. Well, that's different from what I remembered. But then all the other media out there shows Mewtwo being made via cloning to not being born like a regular baby. And notice how they said gave birth, not laid an egg. Wonder if they changed that in any of the remakes of the first generation. I don't remember them doing that. But then I don't remember the line about giving birth in the first place. Well, seeing a Ninetales do a tail whip would certainly be a mesmerizing sight, assuming they put some effort to make it look unique. When I checked YouTube, all I got for that search was either stuff that had nothing to do with Pokemon at all, videos about a whip called a Ninetales, and one anime snippet that happened to have a Ninetales in it. A Ninetales that was notably not waving its tails, and all of them looked like one solid mass. I know it'd be a pain in the ass to animate in any form, but it's literally called Ninetales. Excuse me for thinking that it'd be nice to see in some form of media that thing moving its tails individually, instead of essentially acting like it has just one massive tail. Nice that I guessed that item was there. A level 40 wild Pokemon? That's a bit surprising to come across, especially since someone with only one trained Pokemon had a level 38. I know I've said this before, but the not very effective messages are just total bullshit by this point. Dear God, this wheezing is just ruining Phyllis. Which of course means we're gonna have to end the clip with us going to the Pokemon Center before trying to finish this dungeon again. Well, at least he managed to stay conscious. Holy shit. I'm sorry, but isn't it supposed to be a thing that trained Pokemon are generally better than wild ones unless the wildlife is legendary? Because that's not what I'm seeing here. That should do it for the minimal inventory management at the moment. I might sell a few things off later, but for now, yeah, I'd say I'm done.